Hello, Dan here. Welcome to episode 0 of my new Let's Play series. Using a custom mod pack I made for myself based on Create. I call it Create and Add-ons because that's what it is. You might wonder why I am making an episode 0, right? Right. Well, it's simple really. I just want to explain my thought process in creating it, the motivations, and also maybe an idea of the goals I had in mind for this world, assuming I have any. This is a completely optional video. You don't have to watch it. I'm gonna record episode 1, assuming that you haven't watched episode 0, right? Okay. To give you some background, I've been playing Minecraft for most of the last 15 years. I started in like mid 2009, midsummer. Yeah, during the summer break. I've always been a technical player, even back then, and that's a time where there was not even pistons in the game. All we had was redstone and repeaters and torches, redstone blocks, and basically doors and I don't even remember if we had trapdoors back then. I don't think even the piston mod existed back when I started. Anyway, just to say that I've always been more interested in the technical aspect of the game. I've not been really interested in building like actual buildings as such. I was more interested in making farms, machines, contraptions and stuff like that. And the problem is, as a result, most, if not all, my words are either boring to look at or ugly. And I want to change that. So this series is a conscious decision to try and get better at building and to commit to a world for the foreseeable future. Historically, I've been the kind of people who start a new world every time a new major update comes along. And also I want to change this because, I want to stick to a world and like develop it and make it better. And yeah, that's it. The reason why I'm doing it as a video series on YouTube though is twofold. One, this documents my progress organically, and hopefully I can change. I can see the changes over time. And also, second, it pushes me to produce content, assuming, of course, I manage to build an audience, but one can dream, right? Also, I wanted a vanilla feeling playthrough that still had some fresh things to discover, and I think Create is, to me, the best mode to extend vanilla in spirit and mechanically. Because basically, yeah, mods like Mechanism, they are great at adding mechanics to the game. But it doesn't really feel vanilla at all, Whereas Create just feels like the technological evolution of vanilla, if it makes any kind of sense. To me, vanilla is basically medieval to Renaissance tech level, right? And then you have Create that gets it to like steampunk level of technology, so let's say 19th century. And then you have add-ons, which brings this to diesel age, so diesel punk, which in a sense is early to mid 20th century. And to me, that's basically like it makes sense in a kind of progress It's organic. That's how I see it, at least. So that's why I started from this. So now you know pretty much everything you need to know as a background, and so we can get into the details of how I built the pack. So of course I went on CurseForge and created a new profile and whatever, but who cares? I started with create because that's the bedrock of my playthrough, for the reason I just stated. And then I did EMI, which is not JEI, and the reason I chose EMI and not JEI is because of this view, the tree view. It really, I love it because it really meshes well with how I think. And besides, before I even knew of this mod, that's basically the way I would lay out my plans on paper, by myself on in my notebook and stuff like that. And so this just lets me do it in game, basically. So that's good. And then also I might change it to JEI in the future if I feel like some features are missing. But for now, it's been good. So also I added FTB maps. So that's the map and the mini map on top, and also Ultimine for quality of life reasons. I didn't want to add a block that was a chunk loading thing, because to me that breaks immersion. Yeah, I know it's paradoxical, but the chunk loading that FTB does is more vanilla in a way, because it's basically just admin stuff, right? It's as if those chunks are my spawn chunks, so it's all right. I don't mind this. As for Ultimine, it's basically Vein Miner, but as a quality of life mode rather than a diegetic thing. So it's not an enchantment or a kind of power you get from some mode or whatever. It's just part of the game, basically, and I like it as well. Of course, I also added Jade, because how can you play a modded game without Jade, right? It's you can, but like it's kind of difficult, especially if you don't really know everything about all the mods, which I don't. That's part of the appeal of making a mod pack, is to discover the thing in there. All right. Then I added every create add-ons that made sense to me. So the aforementioned like diesel thing, and every other every other create add-on that I felt made sense. So basically, I didn't want to add magical stuff like arcane in things like that. Like I don't want to go to Botanica and this kind of magical thing, because that doesn't really mesh with the vision I have for this world. And I also didn't want to get too far into the technological level, so I didn't want to get space age and stuff like that. So I avoided too modern looking mods. Just a sec, I need to do something. Okay, so yeah, like I just sorry. So yeah, we are basically at the latest in the 1950s with the add-on I have, because that's what I wanted. I also added AE2, but I intend to use it as little as possible, or rather as late as possible, because I don't want to close myself off from ever adding mods to this mod pack. Like if I feel like we are due an update in kind of technological level, I might go further than Dieselpunk and into the space age and stuff like that, but that's not in the cards for now. Anyway, so for AE2, either I won't use it, or as little as possible, or as late as possible, or I will basically hide it all somewhere and just use it for the quality of life it brings. And so, like, I would probably, that's the thing, is I don't know exactly how that would work, so I'm probably not going to use it much. I think the probably my main storage system will be based on storage drawers. Anyway, I also added Valkyrian skies and immersive aircrafts. At first, I didn't want to add immersive aircraft, as I felt that like Valkyrian skies has a more creative feel to it. But unfortunately for now, I can't find a good enough source of rotational power to actually fly without relying on creative motors, and I don't want to have that in my survival world. So we got the next best staying until Aerontics come out, which I hope is not too far in the future. But for now, we'll stay with immersive aircrafts, and if I manage to make it work, Valkyrian skies. And so I think it was Clockwork. Yeah, create Clockworks. Of course, there's also the basic things like biomes or plenty, and I did add Waystone in my pack, but as I thought about it, with the magical stuff and things like that, I think I will avoid using it and probably add the add-on that basically makes it possible to create teleportation with like a Stargates thing, but that's still create, so it's kind of like the more fictional steampunk and dieselpunk, but it still kind of fits. There's one rule that I used that is not default, is that I keep my inventory on this. And the reason why is I'm not playing a hardcore world. It's very casual series. I don't want to try hard too much. And so that's why. But the thing, that's being said, I will restrain myself from abusing or cheating this mechanic, this rule rather, because I don't want to use this as a shortcut to get back home easily without having to think too much about how I will carry back all the stuff I managed to, gather on a end bust or something like that, Anyway, I think that's everything. And I hope to see you in episode 1. And if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I see you next time. Bye-bye.